There's two commissioners present. Commissioner Davidson is absent. Madam Clerk, are there changes to the agenda?
No, they're not.
Okay, let's get a recognition of who all's here. We start over here, introduce yourself. Go around.
Carrie Maxwell, Trial Court Administrative Office.
Lisa Avesteri.
Judy Corsi.
Deborah Phillips, Ada County Operations.
Janet Hoskins.
Imelda Ramirez, Deputy TCA.
Rachel Ganud, Assessor's Office.
Bob Batista, Expo, Idaho.
Martha Light,
Sherry Abbott.
Kathy Patero.
Linda Douglas, Jennifer Montgomery, TCA.
Lynn Norton, District Judge.
Bob Perkins, Ada County Procurement.
Bob Carney, Operations.
Elizabeth Duncan, Communications.
Austin Jaker, IT.
IT guy.
Sam Hardin, District Judge.
The rhetoric doesn't change.
Trent Triple, County Clerk.
Beth Law, Treasurer.
Okay. So, and there's no change to the agenda, so we will launch right into our business meeting. To start out with, we have an employee recognition. I'll ask Commissioner Daly to read the recognition and then we'll proceed.
Okay. Sherry Abbott, 20 years of service to Ada County. Thank you. Sherry Abbott has worked with Ada County since 2003. She was recruited from Boise County. Thank you. First began working here as Judge Carey's legal assistant. Sherry has now worked here longer than most of the judges. She has been assigned to, and they have appreciated her steadfastness and quality work. Sherry is one of those employees who can at times go unnoticed because she is so independent and requires such little supervision. She simply knows her job well and gets things done. Sherry is certainly very uncomfortable receiving any sort of recognition for her work, but it is important for her to know that we appreciate her commitment and dedication to the county. We would not be able to accomplish this great work without dedicated team members like Sherry. Judge Norton said, "I would just like to say that I appreciate Sherry's service to the Trial Court Administrator's Office, as well as her service to many judges throughout the years with Ada County. I appreciate her dedication and persistence with her work as a legal assistant for our office." Judge Samuel Hoagland said, "She does a fine job of it. Her work is timely, accurate, detail-oriented, and almost perfect every time." Almost perfect. She's the best. Thank you, Sherry, for 20 years of service to Ada County.
Okay, is there anyone that would like to make a comment about Sherry?
I will. I'll just say thank you. It's a testament to see how many clerks that are here from the clerk's office and the relationship that we have with the TCA's office, not to mention judges. They're very busy, and the comments that you heard in that thing, the relationship that we have to carry out a great service for the citizens of Ada County, and you're a big part of that. So thank you for the 20 years you put in.
Thank you. Here, here.
Yeah. Well, is there anyone else who'd like to make a comment before we give you the award? All right, come over here and we'll.
Yeah. You have to get up.
You have to get up.
Get out of your way.
You get the picture.
See what we do back there?
Congratulations. Oh, that's you, Sherry. On behalf of the citizens of Ada County, I present you this award for 20 years of dedicated service to the county. Thank you very much.
Big smile.
Hi. Ooh, I escorted him out.
Oh, yeah, you did, yeah. Before we proceed, I think I need to make a small announcement. We normally broadcast these meetings on YouTube. And there's, are we okay?
Yeah, we're good now.
We are on, okay. Well, thank you. They've been working on it for a while. All right. Next up, we have the reappointment of Stephen O'Meara as the chairman of Energy Communications Planning Committee for fiscal year 2024. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve the reappointment of Stephen O'Meara as the chairperson of Emergency Communications Planning Committee, ECPC, for fiscal year 2024.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we have some unfinished business. I'll accept a motion to remove the unfinished business from the table.
I move to remove the unfinished business from the table for consideration.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay, first one is the final ranking and request to enter fee negotiations for RFQ 23077 design services for Ada County Election Office and Warehouse Remodel.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. The evaluation team for RFQ 23077 has completed the initial evaluations of the qualification statements, and they interviewed the top two proposers for this project, and we would like to submit a letter of their recommendation for your consideration.
Okay, read the letter.
Yes, I'd be happy to. A letter dated October 17, 2023 to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding RFQ 23077. Dear members of the board, the evaluation committee has evaluated the responses for RFQ 23077. A short list of qualified candidates was determined by evaluation scoring. The short list of qualified firms ranked in order of evaluation scoring are as follows. Number 1, Cushing Terrell with a score of 112.75. Number 2, CSHQA with a score of 105.42. Number 3 is ZGA Architects and Planners Chartered, and they have a score of 69.75. And number 4 is Erstad, and they have a score of 58.50. So the evaluation committee would like to request the board's approval of the final rankings and permission to enter into fee negotiations beginning with the number 1 ranked firm. If negotiations are successful, Operations Department will put back on the board's agenda for contract award consideration.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion.
I'll move to accept the final rankings for RFQ 23077, design services for Ada County Elections Office and Warehouse Remodel, and authorize staff to enter into fee negotiations starting with the number 1 ranked firm.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
You're welcome. Our second item on the under unfinished business is the final ranking and request to enter fee negotiations for RFQ 24001, the Ada County Clerk's Office remodel 2024. And the evaluation team has completed the evaluation of the qualification statement and would like to submit this letter of their recommendation for your consideration.
Okay, you could read the letter.
Yep, happy to read this letter. It's a letter dated October 17th, 2023 to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding RFQ 24001. Dear members of the board, the evaluation committee has evaluated the responses for RFQ 24001. A short list of qualified candidates was determined by evaluation scoring. The short list of qualified firms ranked in order of evaluation scoring are as follows. Number 1, Lombard Conrad Architects with a score of 80.0. Number 2, ZGA Architects and Planners Chartered, and they have a score of 77.67. Number 3, CSHQA with a score of 73.67. GGLO is number 4, and they have a score of 73.67 as well. Number 5, Cushing Terrell, they have a score of 72.33. And number 6 is Erstad, and they have a score of 67.33. The evaluation committee would like to request the board's approval of the final rankings and permission to enter into fee negotiations beginning with the number 1 ranked firm. If negotiations are successful, the operations department will put back on the board's agenda for contract award consideration.
Okay, any questions or discussions? All right, I'll accept the motion.
I guess I'm gonna read this. I move to accept the final rankings for RFQ Design Services for RFQ 24001, Ada County Clerk's Office Remodel 2024, and authorize the staff to enter into fee negotiations and start fee negotiations starting with the number one ranked firm.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioners.
All right, next we have several resolutions. I'll open the public hearing on resolution number 2924, a resolution adjusting the Ada County budget to reflect the receipt of unscheduled revenue to the Ada County Prosecuting Attorney's budget. Anyone here wants to speak to that?
This is a grant,
The grant.
pretty regular
Yeah.
thing that we do with
Yep.
unscheduled revenues.
All right. I'll close the public hearing on resolution number 2924 and accept a motion.
I move to approve resolution number 2924 as listed on the agenda.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. I'll open the public hearing on resolution 2925, a resolution for the sole source contract for quality assurance software and services related to Ada County Dispatch. Is there any questions or issues? I will close the public hearing on resolution 2925 and call for a motion.
I move to approve resolution 2925 as listed on the agenda.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 I'll open a public hearing on resolution 2926, a resolution providing for sale of personal property consisting of 2 box cars by Ada County and Expo, Idaho. You gonna miss those box cars?
Oh, terribly. They've been there since I've been there, and they hold horse racing records from the sixties, so
Oh,
it's gonna be a heartbreaking day.
all right.
But
All
no,
right.
this is in preparation as we start building the park,
Uh-huh.
that we create some space for some things that where you don't have the luxury of having that extra space to go in, so trying to stay up with the park and get everything put together as everything folds in.
Well, that's good. All right.
So it's like a boxcar, like a train boxcar
Yeah,
that you use for
there's 2 of them.
storage? Oh.
Okay.
They make better housing than containers, but you never know.
Okay, well, I'll close the public hearing on resolution number 2926 and ask for a motion.
I move to approve resolution number 2926 as listed on the agenda.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to licenses. We have 2 catering permits, 2 new licenses. I'll accept the motion.
Chairman, I move to approve the licenses as listed on the agenda, including 2 catering permits and 2 new licenses, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Now we have with us our distinguished clerk, Mr. Trent Triple.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For an update, we're heavily into election mode. Early voting starts next Monday at 4 permanent locations, and then we have the mobile voting unit, which will be doing what we call our library tour this year. We're hitting several libraries around the county, and they will be at each library 2 days. So we'll try to maximize the amount of people that can show up to those. As of today, 13,589 absentee ballots had been issued. 1,833 had been returned for about a 13.5% return rate. It's hard to tell how much that's going to expand over the next couple of weeks, but we anticipate, based off historical trends, that we'll get around 85-90% of those back. And we'll probably be issuing maybe another 2,000 or 3,000, based off the Republican Party sending out 20,000 mailers for absentees about a week ago. So we anticipate a bump from that. The other thing that we have going on right now is our audit from Hyde Bailey. They've been on site this week. They will be on site next week as well. And they'll take everything that we've given them to look at, and they'll be reviewing it over 3 weeks at their office, and they'll come back on site for another couple of weeks. So hopefully by the end of November, we'll have a final report out on our audit for fiscal year 23. And that's what we've got going on. Not a whole lot.
Just an election.
Based on the amount of absentee requests, what are you projecting for the total turnout?
I think this will generally be about a 25 to 30, maybe slightly higher than that turnout for overall for election turnout for this election. We could go as high as 35. With the jail bond, I think that might push it a little bit higher. With everyone in the county having something on their ballot. If that jail bond had not been on there, there were several places that wouldn't have had something on their ballot, so the turnout would have been lower. But somewhere around 25 to 35 in that range.
Okay. Any questions? All right, thank you. We'll take up the claims journal now. I'll accept a motion.
I move to approve the payment of the claims on the claims journal dated October 17th, 2023 for FY 23 and October 13th, 2023 for FY 2024.
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have some personnel actions. I will accept a motion.
I move to approve the personnel actions as listed on the agenda and that the summary sheet remain on file in the Commissioner's office.
I second the motion.
Hey, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Okay, we have, next up, our assessor's office. Is there anyone here from the assessor's office? Yeah,
Good morning.
good morning.
Nothing to report for the assessor's office. I'm just present if there are any questions in regards to the tax cancellations that appear on today's agenda.
Yeah, I noticed we do have some tax cancellations, which are not really cancellations at all, but rather they're adjustments. But the statutes call them tax cancellations. So, looks like we have 43 of them. Okay. I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the 43 tax cancellations for 2023 as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have with us our distinguished treasurer, Madam Beth Mon.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. A few things that we've worked on the Treasurer's Office. One is wrapping up our year-end reporting. So that's been a top priority, working closely with the Auditor's Office and submitting those reports. But then also preparing for the 2023 tax bills. We will generate those in mid-November, but we have already begun some significant testing for those bills. One thing I'll note was yesterday we did test the 2023 tax cancellations that you have approved so far, and those balanced to the penny. So thanks to the hard work of Rachel and then my team for getting those all correct in our system so that we're ready for the charge. So that's just one example of all the testing we will continue to do over the next 3 weeks before we generate the real bills that will be mailed by the 4th Monday of November. So that's it from our office.
And you anticipate you'll get the correct information from the state tax commission by the first Monday in November?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, that is correct. We're waiting for Monday, November 6th.
November 6th.
That will have information about the savings that we can then calculate and reflect on the bills.
Savings, it'll actually be a rebate from the state tax commission of the tax dollars that they've submitted to the state.
Well, so it'll be a reduction on the
It'll be a
tax
reduction,
bill, right,
yeah.
exactly, that the state will then pay to
Pay
the county.
directly to.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's our priority for the next several weeks.
And all of the changes in the tax notice that can be put on there are already in the system to do, correct?
That is correct. So right now, they're just placeholders with fictitious numbers in there, but we're making sure that the mapping is correctly hitting those
Right.
spots. Yeah,
All right, well, thank you.
thank you.
Okay, we have approval of the minutes. I'll accept a motion.
I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have Expo Idaho. We have 6 interim events. Is there any questions?
Interesting kinds of events we have out there. When you see the list.
Well,
We don't turn anybody away.
we've had a dog show, but we haven't had a pony show yet.
We almost had a dog and pony show.
Okay, I'll accept a motion.
I move to approve the 6 interim event agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, we have the Parks and Waterways, Barber Park Education and Event Center. We have 4 events.
I'll move to approve the 4 Barber Park Education and Event Center agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have 13 agreements. Is there any question or discussion on any of the agreements?
Sea Lion Splash. Sea Lion Splash.
Yeah,
They seem pretty popular.
yeah, I'm bringing them back for another year. Gonna put them in a different location, but yeah, they're a very popular event. You just don't see a lot of sea lions running around in Idaho.
Yeah.
Was it the first year?
This was the first year with this company. I've had another sea lion show out of Santa Cruz that came up here. This is a little more circusy. The other one was a little more educational.
So it's SEA Lion, not SEE Lion.
Right.
Okay.
All right, I'll accept the motion on the agreements.
I move to approve the 13 agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents, appropriate documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there any other business needs to be brought before the board? Not, we're in recess. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Have a good day.
You are
Okay, good morning. Today is the 17th day of October. The time is 9:25. The Board of Commissioners, sitting as the Board of Ada County Emergency Medical Services District, is in business to conduct its open business meeting. All 3 commissioners are present. Also, we have with us, identify yourself.
John Blake, paramedics.
John Blake.
Elizabeth Duncan, Communications.
An IT guy. Okay, Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, there are not.
Okay, we have a claims journal. I'll accept a motion on the claims journal.
I move to authorize payment of claims as listed on the Claims Journal dated October 17th, 2023 for fiscal year 23 and October 13th, 2023 for fiscal year 24 regarding EMS expenditures.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Right?
Motion carries. We have approval of the minutes of the last 9:28, 10:03, and 10:10. I'll accept a motion.
I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Right?
We have 4 agreements. Any questions or discussions on the agreements?
What's the professional services? 77,000. Well, it's number 2. Amendment for renewal and agreement between, Ada County Medical Services District and Emergency Medicine of Idaho for professional services.
No, that's our medical directors.
Okay.
So we have two medical directors, and EMI is the physician group that is associated with St. Luke's. They have historically provided a medical director for us, and that is that's a renewal of our agreement with that person or with that group for the provision of the medical director.
Okay. I'll accept the motion.
I'll move to approve the 4 agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the appropriate documents on behalf of the board.
I second the motion.
Okay, you've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye?
Aye.
All right, now, do you have an update for us?
Sure, not much of one though. I think between the last time I saw you and now, we moved into Meridian Fire Station 7. And given all the logistics that go into putting that together, there were relatively few complications. The unit came up and started running right away in a well-needed place. Our new hire academy, the first part of our new hire academy is in full swing. 10 fresh, eager faces are getting their start with us, which I'm quite happy about. And I think the only other thing that I have is not necessarily an update, but a bit of a story, and it came to me just a couple of days ago. We received a card in the mail from a couple from Tennessee who were in a fairly significant motor vehicle accident, spent some time in the hospital, discharged to rehab, and the card that we got from them said that the trauma services at the hospital where they went said that their outcomes, their ability to be discharged from the hospital, be able to go to rehab, and then ultimately be able to return home to Tennessee had direct bearing on the care that they received from us. And so I think to myself sometimes as I get mired in the endless details of keeping the organization together, I get something like that and I'm reminded about why we do what we do, and I thought that you might like to know that too. I am often I could get off track pretty easily in this job, and then I see something like that and I realize that our folks are doing really, really good work every day. We could probably get dozens of notes that look just like that. I'm honored by their service, and I thought you might like to know that somebody not from Idaho came and had a bad accident for sure, and a good experience with us.
Thank you. Great, congratulations. That's always good when you get a good word.
That's right.
Because people are more apt to complain than to give good rewards.
That is correct. It turns out.
Yeah, and so it's really nice when you get a good compliment.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all I have for you.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anything else? Okay. Unless there's anything else we need to be brought before the board, we'll be in recess. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Okay, we're in recess.